going on?
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. Antonio Brown, the former NFL superstar, was in court in Florida today for the very first time. AB, of course, you probably remember this, has been accused of trying to literally shoot and kill a guy who used to be his friend, turned his apparent enemy, at an Aiden Ross influencer boxing event in mid-May. Now, we know that something happened at this event. You're watching some of that video there now because we, at the time, got some video from the altercation. It was very clear that there was a fight. It's just what exactly happened. The guy that Antonio Brown has been accused of trying to shoot basically says, hey, he jumped me. Meanwhile, Antonio Brown, Danny, has said that he was just defending himself. So that's where we are. Now, there was an arrest warrant put out for a second-degree attempted murder with a deadly weapon for Antonio Brown's arrest. Problem was, Danny, he wasn't in America. He was in Dubai. So last week, authorities in America, they work with the United Arab Emirates. They arrest him. He's shipped back to the U.S. He was in New Jersey for a couple of days in a county jail in North Jersey before he was sent back on Tuesday, Danny, via a plane accompanied by cops to Florida. He's in Miami now. This morning, Wednesday morning, he goes in front of a Florida judge for the first time. What happens?
Yeah, so AB appeared in a Miami courtroom, and where the state was hoping to hold Antonio Brown on pre-trial detention. They didn't want him out. They didn't want him out, especially considering the fact that last time they were trying to look for him, he ended up in Dubai. Luckily for AB,
so they think he's a flight. They think he's a flight risk.
They think
essentially what it is.
They did take his passport, so he does have his passport anymore.
Okay. Hard to travel out of the country without it.
The judge was more sympathetic towards AB and his lawyer side, Mark Eglars, where they decided that he will be able to post bond. It's $25,000.
Wow, that's it.
The state wanted it to be a lot more. I guess maybe $25,000 is a lot more, but AB played a lot of football, so he doesn't got to worry about that.
Right. I mean, it's been millions and millions of dollars, obviously. I would think that for a charge as serious as attempted murder, that it would have been more than $25,000. He potentially faces, if convicted, 15 years in prison. So, I mean, AB is looking at a really serious prison sentence here. What happened? So, as we're taping here now, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Danny, he is, as far as we know, still behind bars. But sometimes the process takes a couple of hours. Any other conditions? He has to give the passport up, like you said. Anything else that he has to abide by?
He is also going to be placed on house arrest, but it's level 3 house arrest, so it's the bare minimum house arrest. So he can
he leave?
He can leave his house. He can really go do what he wants. There's no curfew set up. His lawyer was saying that he'll be staying safe in Miami. He also wanted him allowed to leave so he could focus on other business ventures, which he says so AB can make money for himself and his family. So the bond he'll be posted, no passport, so he can't leave.
Right.
House arrest.
Does he have an ankle monitor too, so they know where he is?
Well, yes, that's also part of it, and a no contact order with the victim himself.
Okay, so he's got to stay. I think 500
feet away.
So 500 feet from Zool, who was the alleged victim here. Look, it's a he said here. I think it's going to be really hard for Antonio here because it's not very often that the entire alleged crime is on video, but that's pretty much the case here, right?
And I do also just want to add, Antonio's lawyer, Mark, said he was planning to surrender before he got arrested in Dubai. That's why he hired Mark. The plan was to surrender, but officials got to him before they could work through that surrender process. And he also said he didn't flee to Dubai to evade the warrant. He was just in there for business because he has a lot of business opportunities.
Right, so I think he said that I went to Dubai, then the warrant was put out. I didn't have the warrant and then try and get away. So he says, look, I was already there, then the warrant's there, and sure, maybe I stayed for a couple of months.
Too long.
So, yeah, it's the first hearing. There is another hearing scheduled for later this month. Again, Antonio Brown charged with and currently in custody as he faces a second-degree attempted murder with a deadly weapon charge, facing up to 15 years in prison. Stay tuned. All right, moving on to Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend and TMZ employee, Kayla Nicole, she's trying to explain herself, Lucas, because a lot of people think that 2 weeks ago, she was taking a shot at her ex's new girlfriend, fiance, Taylor Swift, with a Halloween costume, but she is swearing up and down that it's just not the case.
Right. Halloween came and went, but not without some Kayla Nicole headlines. And of course, a lot of people were pointing to her Toni Braxton tribute.
Okay, big deal.
She dressed up like her and also did the dance to He Wasn't Man Enough music video.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, that was a huge song back in the day, but a lot of people thought, okay, the lyrics line up to how she might actually feel about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's current situation.
Listen, girl, who do you think I am? Don't you know that he was my man, but I chose to let him go? So why do you act like I still care about him? On and on and on. It seems to fit the relationship.
Right. Well, Kayla went on her pregame podcast as she insists that is not true whatsoever. She explained, no, this was more of a tribute to Toni Braxton, and I would never actually shade another woman.
I wasn't really able to creatively live my best life on Halloween growing up. Now at this big old age, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna show a little skin and I'm gonna shake a little ass. And that's what happened this Halloween, honestly. Like, as with anything, I think that people will try to project their own narratives, right? But for me personally, I am, and I think it's very important to say this in this moment, I am not in the business of tearing other women down. I'm in the business of celebrating them. And for me, this moment was about celebrating an icon in my culture, someone that I have listened to since I was very, very young. Shout out to Toni Braxton. You guys, she commented on my post, and I feel like that in itself, I feel like I won Halloween. Cheers to Halloween 2025.
That's fine and dandy, but here's the thing. History does not side with Kayla Nicole here. She is trying to say that she was not shading another woman because just a few years ago, she revealed that she dressed up as Tiana Taylor because she was upset with Iman Shumpert for dumping her for Tiana Taylor.
So she's done this before?
She has done this before, and she posted it on her Instagram and everything, so she can deny all she wants, but herself, Kayla Nicole, not doing herself any favors.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think people are going to be looking to see what Kayla's up to for as long as Tavis is together, right? Like, that is the most popular relationship in the world, arguably, and it has been for quite some time. So it is always a relevant topic. It's always a hot topic. You're always going to get a ton of engagement off of it. So obviously, with Kayla being the ex-girlfriend here, people are always going to be keeping an eye on her as well to see what's going on, which is kind of sucks for her, right? Like, no matter what.
Or you could say she's relevant now, Mojo, and she wouldn't be otherwise, right?
That is true, too. That's the flip side of the token, Babcock. I agree with you, and I was going to say that as well. There's pros and cons to this thing, and if you have a podcast, that is the pros. It is going to prop up your podcast for sure. But again, the negatives is everyone's going to nitpick your life. They're always going to be looking for some sort of outlet that way, and a lot of times that ends up being a negative connotation there. So that really doesn't do you any favors. But all this being said, I think she was absolutely throwing shade, right? Like you look at the history, this was too close of a thing. The lyrics were too perfect. Even if she wanted to go that route, she had to have been aware and cognizant of the climate right now and that relationship. You could have picked a different verse. You could have picked a different song. You chose that one, and you got the history of these Halloween outfits throwing shade at people. I ain't buying it.
And here we go, Mojo. And we did a poll on the website earlier today. We asked people, Kayla Nicole's explanation adds up. Not enough for me, line from the song. 79% not enough for me. So the people just ain't buying it. Up next, Jake Paul is reportedly close to announcing a replacement opponent for Tank Davis. You will not believe which former undisputed heavyweight champion the problem child may step in the ring with. We'll explore when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Jake Paul may have a new boxing opponent. 6 foot, 6 inch tall former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua Yeah, you heard that right. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul are reportedly in the midst of contract negotiations that are said to be very close to being finalized. Now, this, of course, comes on the heels of Jake Paul canceling his fight, pulling the plug on his fight against Tank Davis. Now, Anthony Joshua Lucas is basically Tank Davis, except he's a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier. They're both boxing champions. They both know how to freaking knock their opponent out cold. The difference, again, is that massive size difference. So against Tank, Jake was the bigger guy, and you say, okay, Tank's got the skill advantage, but Jake's got the size. Well, that's not the case here. I cannot believe it. It is apparently going to happen, though, Lucas. Anthony Joshua, he's 34 years old. He's not Mike Tyson. He's not 58-year-old Mike Tyson, who was great. 36 years old, not washed up. He's not near 60 like Mike Tyson. Insane.
This is a direct response to the haters because everyone has always talked about Jake's opponents. And it's like, great, well, you're going up against boxing greats' brothers. You're going up against MMA fighters. You're going up against boxing champs way past their prime. No, here is a guy who is an active boxer. He's in his 30s, and he is an actual boxer, a former champion.
Yeah, I mean, you go back years, Lucas. He was the best fighter in the world, period, at the heavyweight division.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is going to be the biggest test by far for Jake Paul, but it goes to show, he wants to go up against these fighters. He has said since day one he wants Canelo, and this has not been just some crazy little headline grabbing situation for Jake. He is all about it. He is dedicated to the craft, and he is going into this fight, if it is finalized, as a heavy underdog.
Yeah, what is it, minus 1,000?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, minus 1,000.
So risk $1,000 to win $100 back.
But as someone who wants to be a real deal boxing champion, this is a major step for Jake Paul. So all eyes are going to be on this. We had people in this office who were saying, just as he was losing me, I wasn't going to watch the Tank Davis fight. This is one people are going to watch.
Bro, I don't think it's minus 1,000 on this line. I think it's closer to like minus 10 billion on this line, because this right here is going to be crazy. If Jake wasn't mad at Tank before for everything that happened, now he's got to fight Anthony Joshua. So I don't even know what is going to be going through his head. Yeah, we already talked about it. Fighting Tank was interesting. Tank's a champ. He's beaten everybody. But Jake, way more inexperienced. He's way bigger than he is. So there's a little bit more intrigue there. Now, Anthony Joshua, there isn't a person on the planet that's got to think Jake Paul has a shot whatsoever. So I don't think anyone's wondering who's going to win this thing. It's more so, how's it going to go down, and will Jake finally get knocked the hell out? Because obviously tons and tons of Jake Paul haters, they have been dreaming of this moment, and they all think they're going to get it. But I want to say one thing that might be interesting to me about this matchup, because obviously I don't think Jake is going to win. Anthony Joshua destroyed Francis Ngannou, and he did it very quickly. Is Jake going to outlast Francis Ngannou? What kind of pedestal is Jake going to be on after this? If he goes the distance and loses by decision, then that whole clapping and talking and all this stuff between Francis and Jake, man, that is going to hit decibels unheard of. So I don't know how that's going to go, but for me, that is the main storyline coming out of this one. That's going to be extremely interesting. Again, contracts have not been inked. The ink is not dry. They're still working on this. Obviously, a world could exist where this falls apart, but right now, that's what it's looking like. And yeah, man, Babcock, we might have to go to this one.
It's going to be an absolutely massive fight. I mean, it'll likely be on Netflix. You're going to have tens of millions of people, if not more, watch this thing. I will say this. Anyone who thinks Jake Paul's doing this for money, you're wrong. Jake Paul has got a company that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, better, if not more. The guy's got all the money. He has got lifetime's worth of money. I think that Jake Paul actually believes that he can win this fight. As a matter of fact, to that point, I spoke with, at the end of the summer, I spoke with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is Anthony Joshua's promoter, has been for Anthony's whole career. Listen to Eddie Hearn talk about this fight. Now, this is when AJ and Jake were negotiating before. The fight actually never happened. But listen to the way Eddie Hearn talks about this potential super fight.
I think he's a world-class fighter. I don't. Do I think he's decent and improved? Yeah. Do I think he can beat Anthony Joshua? Not in 100 chances. Right? And do I think he'll get knocked spark out against Anthony Joshua? Every single time. Do you want to watch Jake Paul get knocked spark out? The answer for many millions of people around the world is yeah. So, like, you're not, in this build-up, if we get it over the line, you're not going to hear, well, you know, this is a it's crazy. But in Jake Paul's little world and his merry men and people around him, they're telling him, whoa, AJ's at the back end of his career, you know, his punch resistance might not be like. But listen, maybe I'm wrong. But for me, you know, and again, you know, when I approached AJ about the fight, I was just like, listen, I don't know what to say. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, I mean, why not?
A.J. Brown goes off on the current situation in Philadelphia. Hear why the Eagles wideout tells fantasy football owners to bench him when TMZ Sports comes back right after this.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Lucas Widman here. Sorry to all the fantasy football owners who have A.J. Brown on your roster. It's over. Release him. And that's coming from A.J. Brown himself, who went on a live stream Tuesday night and said, yeah, my season's over.
Give me straight. You know what I'm saying? Mental good, kids good, you know what I'm saying? Wife good, everything?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Where
have you been?
No, I was just checking on you my dog. Like, I still got, you know what I'm saying? I gotta check up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like family good, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else, no.
Man, everything gonna click, bro. Chat, chill, look. Everything gonna click, bro. Trust me. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. No, you got a chat cracking up, bro.
Awesome. How you been? Yeah, struggling, brother.
I promise you, you might get 200. And I ain't even trolling.
Hey. If you got me on fantasy, man, get rid of me. Daddy Daddy had 9 for 168. 2 tub.
Whoa. Daddy. Yeah, he said.
I'm telling you, bro. That's the only highlight of the damn football I've been living right now.
Of course, everyone knows this season, A.J. Brown has not been A.J. Brown of years past. He has only 31 catches, 408 yards, and 3 touchdowns, despite the Philadelphia Eagles being 7-2 right now. Things are good in Philly, but not for A.J. Brown. Now, if only we had an Eagles fan in the office who'd be able to weigh in on this. Oh, wait, Mika, what do you make of all this?
I've been very vocal on how I feel about A.J. Brown. I love him. We don't win a Super Bowl without him. We don't make 2 in 3 years without him. But my God, man, he is such a diva. He is the definition of why people think wide receivers are divas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have Jamar Chase, who's on a crappy situation with the team that's never going to win anything, and you don't hear him complaining about anything like this. A.J. Brown is on a 7-2 football team where when he is needed, he gets the ball. When he is not needed, he doesn't, and we still win football games. And he is still complaining. I don't know what to do with him anymore. I've always given him the benefit of the doubt that I agree he's one of the best receivers in the league when he gets the ball. He's not winning his one-on-one matchups. If you watch the tape, he's not doing that. So there's no excuse for, what he's saying. He's going out and saying all this publicly. He knows what it's going to get out. He goes to the media the next day and says, no, I'm happy here. I can't say enough about this, that it doesn't frustrate me and every other Eagles fan saying that we have Devontae Smith right now. He's killing it. A.J. Brown, I love you. I will always love you. But please just stop or go away. I'm done with it. I'm so over it.
Well, we'll see what happens for the rest of the season, but right now the Eagles are looking pretty good. So if it ends up in another Super Bowl win, that's another ring for A.J. Brown.
Nico Harrison gets fired, and then he's got jokes. How the former Mavs general manager is now embracing unemployment. Next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Babcock and Mojo. Nico Harrison, the now fired Mavericks general manager, doesn't seem to be taking the news too hard, at least. Mojo, Nico Harrison, who of course is the guy behind that crazy Luka Doncic trade, who was then fired this week. He goes to social media, he goes to his Instagram account, and he changes the bio, Mojo. So now the bio says, girl dad, got to show love for his kid. And then he writes unemployed. So he's not taking things too seriously, Mojo. It's not fun to get fired, let's be honest, but taking it in the best possible way.
Hey man, is this a message of some kind? He's putting this out in the world. Is he trying to make light of a serious situation? I mean, Dallas fans certainly are still going to be upset about the Luka situation, as is pretty much just about any other NBA fan to be mad at a manager for doing something like that. I don't know. What's your plan here? I mean, I don't think he's expecting this to help him in the job market, finding his next gig. I mean, I guess he's having some fun, but I could see this rubbing somebody the wrong way. So I don't know about this one, Babcock.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine. I'm not saying his career's over, and I'm sure he could find a job somewhere. Maybe he goes the media route. So I think there are things that Nico Harrison can do. But the reality is that this guy is forever, from now until the end of time, is going to be known as the man who traded a young Luka Doncic for an old, injury-prone Anthony Davis. Again, one of the most shocking trades that we've ever seen, and he's always going to be tied to that. That'll never leave him. So we'll see what he does. I hope Nico Harrison is well. I think he's paid the price now. He doesn't have a job. We'll see where he goes from here. As far as where we go from here, we're done for the day. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm a lawyer.